Welcome to Savor the Story podcast, where books and snacks are life. I'm Nicole. That's Vanessa.
Hello.
Hello.
I have an immediate update for you.
Yes, I've been waiting for this update.
Okay. So, as everybody knows, last week we talked about Tim doing the massively stupid Cocodona 250 race. It started today in recording time. So, literally all I've been doing today is tracking him. Sadly, because he's in the middle of the mountains, I have not been able to talk to him all day. So I talked to him at like 3 a.m. his time this morning, like before race, or 4 a.m. his time. And that was the last time I've talked to him. So I can't wait till he's in a spot where I'm able to speak. But this race has probably one of the best technology trackers that I've seen in any race he's ever done. It's been fantastic. So I can tell you that right now he has completed a full marathon. He's at 26.8 miles completed. And he just finished the biggest elevation gain in one chunk that he'll see. And so he's currently at 6,600 feet of elevation gain in 26 miles.
Oh my gosh.
And I have excellent news. He's currently an hour and a half ahead of his schedule pace that he wanted to be at.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. So his total time, his goal for the end, which we expect him to slow down in the coming days, right?
Right. Yeah.
Whatever.
Sleep deprivation.
Right. But the goal is, like, his big goal is to finish the race in 114 hours. So the cutoff is 125 hours. So he's just obviously at least before 125.
Right, yeah.
His goal, so based on his goal of 114 hours, he's currently an hour and a half ahead of that. So nice. Whatever he can gain in the first day, which is actually the hardest day as far as like elevation goes, then is great, because then he can stand to lose some of that in the later days and still finish when he wants to finish. So, and the 114 hours, if he finishes at that time, that puts him at 11 p.m. Friday night, which is still his birthday.
Still technically his birthday.
Yes. So everybody, I know by the time you hear this, it'll be done, but I'm just sending out all of the like vibes out there so everyone can feel it. And they're like, oh, I think I should be thinking about Tim right now.
Right.
Yes. So that's what I'm doing.
So by the time this comes out, you can at least throw your congratulations, Tim, in there.
That's right. Exactly. Because we're all just going to manifest that he finished, and he finished when he wanted to.
Exactly. Right. So my math ain't that great, but when you said that he has finished his first marathon, quick math in my head, which I said, was that like he has like 9 marathons left? Did I math that right? Because about 4 marathons and 100 miles.
So I know, 8,
yeah,
10. So it's 10 marathons plus some change.
So yeah, he has about 9 marathons left.
Yes.
Okay.
Or 8.5 marathons. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, marathons? I was wildly rounding to 25 miles as a marathon, but yes. Right. So,
yep. One down, and the hardest one, arguably the hardest one of the entire race, aside from probably the last one, because it's the last 26 miles of after you've been on your feet for that long. But
or maybe it's the best one because you only have a marathon left, which
that's right.
I don't for normal people that doesn't equate. I feel like I only have one marathon left. I've never done a marathon in my life.
Well, yes. So I don't know. But as far as like elevation gain and terrain, because it's like in where he's at right now, they're using hiking poles and like all that kind of stuff because it's super rocky, it's super steep, it's super like all of that. So arguably the hardest marathon of the whole thing is done. So I'm feeling good about it. I can't wait to be able to talk to him. Oh, I just needed to give you a fast update because that's all that's been on my head. I need to get it out real fast so then it's out there and then I can think about books.
All right.
Yes.
Did it work?
We'll see.
Okay.
Yes. Once we start talking about books, I feel like I'll be better.
Right. Well, let me tell you why I was late.
Okay, tell me.
I know I was going to send you what it was, but I don't feel like anybody or you will be surprised when I say the reason I was late to recording is because I took the dogs outside and Remy found a brand new pile of goose shit and decided that was what he wanted to roll in.
Why does Remy do this with his life?
I don't know. I have no clue. But for those of you who have never seen Remy, he's a black and tan dachshund. And he was so covered in goose shit that the gray of his muzzle and the neck fur, that's gray, was dyed green.
That is the worst thing I've ever heard.
You ever seen like that shimmery, like, it's almost like green glitter glue?
Yes.
That's what his fur looked like.
Nicole, you've gone too far.
He's like a fucking mermaid. Like,
he's a mermaid. I don't want to call anyone covered in shit a mermaid, okay?
Well, I mean, real mermaids might be covered in shit. You don't know that.
No.
They're majestic, Nicole. Come on. So yeah, he rolled in all the goose poo. He was Mike. I went through. We have like dog wipes for like small messes, but nobody wanted to touch him to bring him inside. So I had to wipe him down and get most of the green off with these dog wipes, and then Mike carried him downstairs and bathed him in the utility tub, which he was not pleased about.
Oh, I'm sure he was not. I am not happy about any of this conversation. I never want to hear you speak of this again.
Okay. I hate to tell you this, Vanessa, but this will not be Remy's last time.
I know, and I'm so disappointed.
I know. Well, the worst part is I know this won't be the last time because all the geese in the area have now had babies.
Oh no.
So it's not just like a couple of drops of poo that you can like scooch into the lake. No. It's literal hundreds of goose droppings everywhere.
You need
because of all the goslings.
You need to cover him in cellophane before he goes outside every time.
Put him in but then I have to remove it.
I know. But it's better than trying to clean it out of the fur.
Yeah, but Mike can do it.
Okay, that's fair.
I just have to wipe off. It was like in his collar and like stuff like that. I thought I got it all. I washed my hands. I grabbed all my stuff to come up here, put my phone down, and my hands were like, had like poop on them again. And I was like, what has poop on it? Gosh dang it. So I had to wash my hands, wash my phone,
everything again,
check all my books because
my gosh,
I had my computer downstairs because I was doing some stuff, and sure shit, the computer had poop on it. So that's
Remy's like goal is to just get goose poop everywhere.
Yeah, he does not care.
That is like the worst.
He's like, what are you gonna do about it?
I think I'm gonna return my dog if they ever do that.
I've had those dogs for too long. I think the return policy is way past.
Damn it. Luckily, neither of them have ever rolled around in poop. But that is crazy.
Well, it's also a wildly different experience because if my dog rolls in poo, he's 20 pounds.
Right.
He's this big.
Yes.
Like, but if Abby or Ollie did it, I feel like especially Abby.
Yeah, because her fur is that thick.
She got the neck fur. It's just like, oh.
Plus, it would be in all the nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
I can't deal with it. And I would be the one that had to do it because Tim is like one of those like vomit people. So like a vomit person, you know, where they just like smell something bad and immediately their gag reflexes. Yes, that is Tim. So
nice.
I get stuck with all of that shit. And so I'm going to need our current streak to hold of our dogs never doing this.
All right. Fine.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I'm trying to think since I feel like I talked a lot about goose poop this morning, so I probably, or this afternoon, I don't really think I need to go into my week.
Yeah.
That was probably the highlight.
Right. Tell me all about your snacks. Let's move away from poop and let's just talk about yummy snacks.
All right. I saw my sister yesterday? Saturday? Yeah, I saw my sister Saturday.
What day is it?
No clue. And I sent her a text and I said, "Hey, where do you want to eat?" And she was like, "I don't care, wherever you want to eat." And I was like, "Well, if you don't pick, I want to go to this Mexican restaurant that we always go to." And she was like, "Sounds like we're going to this Mexican restaurant." And I was like, "All right."
Excellent.
So I had the crazy guac again.
Oh, nice. It was the crazy guac place.
Yes.
Okay.
So went to the crazy guac place. I had a margarita. I had, what else did I have?
Was the crazy guac as good as remembered?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Well, and I was at work that day, so I also had a whole bunch of people who were also at work with me. They were all like, "Oh, we should get lunch too." And I was like, "Okay, cool. What do you guys want to get for lunch?" And they were like, "Let's get tacos." And I was like, "You guys suck."
Of course you want fucking tacos.
Yeah. But it was like a mom and pop place, luckily.
Okay.
And, so I had tamales for lunch and then crazy guac for dinner. Carne asada.
Nice.
Oh, it's also delicious.
It sounds like a great day of food.
I know. It was a celebration.
Yeah.
I feel like I've used tamales as my rating scale.
I think so.
Before.
Yes.
So I guess I'll use margaritas.
Okay. With extra salt?
Yes. Extra salt.
Yes. Excellent.
Yes. How about you?
So my snack this week, it was going to be something else, but I just on the spot changed it. So I had a movie date with myself this weekend because Tim was gone and Thunderbolts came out and I was not going to wait for him to come home to see it because I didn't want to be spoiled on anything. And also it was a like gloomy, rainy day. So it was like perfect for me to go to the movies. So went to the movies by myself, saw Thunderbolts, and then picked up Condado nachos and came home and devoured a whole thing of nachos, and they were delicious. But I will use my movie date, my by myself movie date, movie popcorn as my snack this week. So a bucket of movie popcorn is my snack.
Nice. Yeah. I love movie popcorn.
Me too.
I don't know why it's so much better. It's like that Coke question we had earlier. Why is Coke better?
Oh, right.
You know,
I wonder if it's the amount of salt.
Salt and butter.
Yes, it's got to be the amount of salt because like no other popcorn that you get is as salty as that at movie theaters. And it's my favorite. It tastes delightful. I was this close to buying the like memorabilia Thunderbolts popcorn bucket, but I decided that I wouldn't do that because I feel like when Tim got home he would have looked at me and been like, "Why did you do this?"
The judgment.
Yes, back in the day, Cinemark used to sell those buckets where you could pay for it, like you just bring them back in and get them refilled for like super cheap, and they don't do that anymore. And so what's the point of me buying this popcorn bucket just for me to have a popcorn bucket? Like, no, let me bring it back in and get it refilled for free or for $5 or whatever. Like, so they need to bring that back. I'm putting this out there right now. Movie theaters need to bring it back to where if I buy a bucket, I can bring it back for the whole year and get it refilled for cheap.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because I still have buckets here that are like, it even says it on the bucket, like, come back and get it refilled for $3.50 until the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was gonna say if there's no date, you should take it back and totally get it refilled.
No, it's usually like that year or whatever is what they used to do, but whatever. I'm upset about it, but I'm also very happy that I ate a whole bag of popcorn by myself with no one to take from me. Yes. Yes. So that is my snack.
Nice. And what did you think of the movie?
It was pretty good. I am having, like we've talked about this when rating books before, when like you rate the book and then you see other people's ratings of it and you start questioning your own thoughts. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I walked out thinking like, oh yeah, that was like, it was okay. It was pretty good. Like I enjoyed it. It was fine. But all of the reviews of people I'm seeing online all like loved it. And I'm starting to be like, did I love it? Maybe I loved it.
Yeah. I've seen a couple reviews and most people have been like, oh, 8 out of 10, but they don't give any like, what is it called? Like, any backstory or behind why is it 8 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I will say like the acting was great. I would say it was a very much an ensemble cast, but the lead was definitely, what's her name? Florence Pugh. Yeah. So I feel like she was definitely the lead of this movie, because most scenes involved her and she did fantastic. So if I'm going off of just rating on like acting and her, great. Definitely 10. But I don't know. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'll probably be seeing it again soon because Tim wants to see it. So, and I did promise him that I would go with him. So,
did you tell him you already saw it?
Yes.
Does he know? Okay, I didn't know if you're gonna be like, oh wow, I've never seen this before. This will be so great, and then you just have to be like, oh,
what is happening? No,
I totally won't know what's gonna happen.
No, he knows. I did tell him, and he was jealous, and so because he was jealous, I promised him that I would see it with him when he came back.
I'll go again.
I'll eat another bucket of popcorn.
And then we'll get Kendados on the way home.
Whoops. It just ended up here.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. The end.
I have a little bit of book news.
Okay.
If you don't have anything.
I
don't know if you had Mr. Chatty's Corner or something like that.
I have something to do in lieu of Mr. Chatty's Corner today, and it has to do with book news. So you can tell me first.
All right, well, I'll tell you my book news first. Okay. I don't know if you've heard this. I just heard it today.
Okay.
But did you hear that some of the book subscription services are transitioning to publishing? Specifically, Owlcrate and Fairyloot.
Really? Mm-hmm. They're going to start publishing their own. Interesting. I wonder so do we know what that really means for us? Like, what is that?
So there isn't a huge amount out there, and most of because I did try to go find more articles on it, and most of them just looked like they were the same articles published. Because I saw it originally, I think, on The Guardian, and then like I started looking at trying to find more details, and it looked like it was just repeating the same article on all the websites. But basically it came down to at least one of the Owlcrate, one of their people reached out to comment, and they were just like, oh, we're doing this because the publishing system is a broken industry, was the main comment. They said that there's 4 reasons that they're going in this direction.
Okay.
The first one is so they can have increased control over the books that are being released. Okay. So they get to have more choice of who, maybe like niche markets, specific authors, stuff like that.
Okay.
Second one is they want to enhance the subscriber experience. So
Okay.
have more control over like book art and the books and stuff like that. So kind of the same thing. They want to be able to pick their authors more.
Okay.
And then
I was under the impression they already do that.
I know.
Okay.
So I need, like I said, I just saw this today and I didn't see that much on it. So I'm gonna keep digging into this because
So maybe we'll have an update next week.
yeah.
Okay.
I know they have some,
Yeah.
but maybe they're with a very specific publisher,
Right.
who doesn't have rights to like every single author or something
Sure.
like that.
Okay.
So I don't understand the publishing industry well enough to know that if you sign with, Penguin House or
Right.
something, you can also go to another publisher, right?
Right.
So
But also, I kind of felt like I feel like that's going to limit them because they won't be able to put books out as their own, like special edition books as their own publishing company because another publishing company owns it. Like that feels, I need you to be Detective Nicole. I need you to find out more information for me, and I'm going to make sure I ask about it next week.
okay. Yes. Yeah, most definitely. Ask about it next week, and I'll definitely keep poking around a little bit because when I was first reading it, my initial thought was they're just trying to make more money. But
Everyone is.
everyone is, yeah. I mean, and they likened it to like, oh, look at like, I know it's different, but like, oh, look at like Apple Plus and Netflix and Amazon. They're all going out and making their own films. So I think that's kind of the same idea, but like you said, I'd be really interested to see if that changes
Yeah.
what kind of books, because I don't have Fairyloot. My sister does.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, but but I think we both have Owlcrate, so
Yeah. Interesting. Oh, I can't wait to hear more because I definitely would like to understand. But as soon as you said like the Netflix, the Amazon, the like whatever, it totally makes sense. Like they have like their Netflix original, but then they also have contracts with other places. So I guess you could technically still do that in the book world, right? Where you technically have your original, which is your one that you're publishing yourself, while you're still being able to do special editions with other people.
Yeah,
interesting.
It sounds like all of their books are gonna, like maybe even the ones where they're publishing are all going to be special editions. I don't think they're gonna do just like regulars. So I'd be also interested to see if they plan to get more indie authors.
Yeah.
You try.
Well, I mean, you'd almost have to, right? Because if you go with all the big places, they probably already have like an agent and a publishing company that they work with either exclusively or most often.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'm very interested to see how this all turns out. So
great book news, Nicole.
I know. Look at me contributing.
Right? All right. So are you ready for my book news?
Yes.
All right. So I decided to do this in lieu of Mr. Chatty's Corner because there's a lot of information that I wanted to share with you. And it is book community tea. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. So first I wanted to give, as everyone knows, I'm sure, Apollycon was in the middle of April. And I thought that's where I was going to start this or like go with this, but something else came up today that took over. So Apollycon had a lot of drama, but much less drama than the other one I'm going to talk about.
I did hear about this.
Yeah. So
keep going. Sorry.
Apollycon had a couple of issues where it just kind of, I think it's just become a point to where it's so massive that like, and the event people are not prepared for that. So things are just not organized. Like it's just out of control, some chaos happening. people are very upset about things that were given away for free are now on sale on like secondhand sites and stuff like that for like $200 and $300 for shit that was free at the like as a giveaway. People who like broke or like rushed debt tables and stuff like that to get free arcs that were being given out, and they took multiples, so it made it to where other people couldn't get it. So drama, whatever. Which
is unfortunate, but sounds about what I would expect. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that's that. The other one I want to talk to you about. A listener actually sent it to me and said, if you haven't seen this, go look. And so I did. And I will tell you, most of the information that I got is going to be from the TikTok handle author Percy J. So if you want to get like all the details, go watch her TikToks, because she's got like 3 parts out already and a 4th part coming out soon of telling her entire experience. And then I also looked around a little bit more, and there was some other things too, but just some like high level information about the Million Lives book event that happened in Baltimore this weekend.
I'm really excited for this.
Okay, great. So it was put on by Archer Fantasy Events, whoever they are, this past weekend, and shit did not go the way that it was supposed to go. So like I said, I'm not going to give you all the background information. Go to TikTok and watch author Percy J, but just some top level things. 1, the authors were promised that there were going to be 500 to 600 tickets sold to this event, which means 500 to 600 people coming to your table to buy or potentially buy your books. About 50 people were there. 50.
Oh, no.
And the authors couldn't even tell. So there were about 120 authors that were booked to go to this. So they had the tables all set out, like all the things. They couldn't even tell who was an actual attendee and who just stumbled into the conference center, because the wristbands were not given out in an organized manner. Like registration was not done correctly. So the authors were like, we don't care who comes in here, because we were promised 500 people. And I've seen 30 people with wristbands. So like, I don't care who comes in. If they're going to buy my book, please come in here. It's unfair to people who paid, right? But whatever. The authors did pay $150 per table, so to even buy their spot. So they paid money to go, they paid money to fly, they paid money to like all the things, right? So 50 people out of 500 that were promised. There was a fantasy ball that was planned.
Yes, this is what I saw.
Yes. That people actually paid extra to be at, like to add on to your ticket price. It was literally just like a big conference room center, ballroom or whatever, with some tables and a Bluetooth speaker playing some music.
Yeah.
And about 30 people showed up. Like, so, sorry, I went to a planner conference, like a planner, stationary, whatever conference, last year before, whenever it was. And they had like a masquerade type ball. They had a full ass DJ there. Like the DJ played all night. They had karaoke. They had like, it was massive. And we fit like probably fire code in there, right? Like
yeah.
It was crazy. But like, that is when you promise a ball for an event like this, you can't just put a fucking speaker that you bought on Amazon and play music from your fucking Spotify playlist. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. And to that point, like, did you see like, well, I mean, I know you saw, if you saw the TikToks, but like no decoration. It was just
literally nothing.
It was like folding tables that you see at like a science fair. And then there was like like fake petals like on the tables, like no tablecloths, no nothing,
nothing.
Literally nothing.
It gets worse.
I know.
It gets worse. There was something called the content creation room that you literally had to pay $100 more. Like that got added to the next tier of ticket for $150. The content creation room on the first day, this author specifically went in there, was like, what is a because nobody knew what it meant. It was just like, ooh, this cool content creation room is going to be like, it's added to your ticket. It was literally just a conference room, like a blank. There was no tables. There were no chairs. There was nothing, no decoration. There was literally a blank room with nothing in it. And on day 2 of this conference, the doors were closed and it said due to technical difficulties. What does that even mean? Okay, hold on. So there's more. They were promised swag bags when you bought the extra tickets. Somehow the event organizer said they were thrown away. So everything that people donated, like the authors donated books, they donated stickers, they donated the bags themselves. The event organizer says that they blamed it on the conference center and said that the conference center threw the boxes away. And so none of the attendees, the 50 attendees that showed up, got swag bags. No one.
That is just wildly devastating. Yes. Everything you're saying to me is just like another layer. Is like, it makes my heart hurt for literally every single person who went.
For every person that was involved. And the last thing I'll tell you that I think is actually like one of the worst things.
Oh, good. You're saving it for last.
Saved it for last. Because to me, it's like that secondhand embarrassment kind of situation. So they had a panel that this author actually wanted to go to. It was like a specifically like a writer's panel. And so it had a panel of a couple of people and then some people that were obviously going to come into this room. This hall had no chairs. Both the panelists and the attendees sat on the floor for this panel.
What the literal fuck?
Yeah, to me, that's the worst thing. Obviously, you spent your money, like spending your money and not getting anything out of it is obviously a bad thing and very terrible. But to me, like that is, you just basically said, I don't give a fuck about you. Mm-hmm. Come do my panel, and then, but I'm not going to make any accommodations for you. Like, to me, that said, I do not care about you.
That's, man, this whole thing, what a kick in the gut.
Seriously,
right?
I would be so fucking pissed if I spent money on this. And then the event organizer put out a apology video. It's probably worse than the actual event itself. But basically she said, upon request, I'll give you a refund because I know the fantasy ball wasn't what you thought it would be. No. This should not be an upon request situation. This should be like, I fucked up. Here's everybody's money back.
And here's the fucking swag that you were promised.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know. That is, it kind of, between Apollycon and everything that came out of this, there are wildly different reasons why things went wrong, obviously. But it kind of makes me feel like I don't want to go to a book con.
No, not like a new up and coming one or anything like that. Like,
I mean, I hope that Apollycon is learning every year, right? The like learning how to take care of certain things and like organize like people management, basically, or crowd management. I hope that they're learning that every year. So potentially that one could be better. But that's terrible. How does this happen? I definitely recommend everyone go to TikTok and watch this author's story, because you'll get all of the things.
Yeah. So, I mean, wow. One, that's just so terrible for everybody who went, all the authors who spent their time and money to get there. That, man, like I said, what a kick in the stomach, but
Yep.
I also wonder if this is their first year doing it. Like,
I did not see that. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if this was their first or not, but
so yeah, I wonder if it was just like they were overestimated their ability to do this, because you don't have to start that big.
no.
Like when we went to that one that the library does in
The Columbus.
there was not 50 there was not 50 authors, right? There may be 20 authors.
Right.
Maybe
and she booked
25.
120.
Yeah.
Like,
And yeah, like start small. Like
yeah.
you can, I don't say this to be rude to indie authors, but you could probably get some indie authors. Like you don't have to pay us to come here. It's a free table. We are trying to build our brand.
100%. Everything about this screams scam. Like, you're going to have to show me some serious receipts or something to show me that this was not a scam.
I don't even know who. I just imagine like a room, like a conference center, and doors with like papers on the like this is where the thing, and then nobody who actually works at the conference, or who actually works for the place putting it on.
Yeah.
Like Archer or whatever you said it was, Enterprises, like nobody from there working.
Right.
So it's just like some guy from the conference center, some like 17-year-old who's like, I put the sign on the door over there. Did you want chairs? There's nobody to ask, so I didn't put chairs out. Like,
right. That's almost what the author made it sound like. She said the security of the conference center was fantastic. They helped find like where they're supposed to go, what they're supposed to do, like everything. The security of the conference center did more work than the event person, like the event organizer. I don't know. It fucking bookish tea is happening.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, I did see a TikTok on that, but I didn't put it like into book news. I was just like, oh man.
Yes.
What the hell?
Specifically, this listener sent it and was like, in case you want some content, like, here you go. And I was like, that makes so much sense. Let's talk about it.
Man. I'm sorry if anybody who's listening went to that event.
I know.
Man.
I know. That's
I
unfortunate.
feel bad for you.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready to tell me all about your books now?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Do you want me to you want to do the same thing we did last time we had a shared book, where I just do one, we do our shared book, and then you do yours?
Yes.
Unless you only have one.
No, I have a shared one and a one.
And one. All right, cool. All right. So before I do this book, I have to tell you about news about this book.
Okay. Great.
All right. So I don't think anybody will be surprised to know that I am going to talk about the fourth book in the Murderbot Diaries.
What?
So by the time this episode comes out, though, the Murderbot Diaries will have already been out on Apple Plus for like 2 days.
Okay.
I think. So everybody should be caught up to episode 2.
Okay, great.
All right. So, but in case you're not, it's on Apple Plus.
Yes.
So the shows are already, 2 of the shows are already out, and there's going to be 10 total, 1 every week following this week.
Okay.
So, yeah.
This week, recording week, this week, posting week.
Posting week.
Okay. So it's not out yet. You have not watched it.
No.
Okay. All right.
But it sounds like 2 of them will be released on the 16th, and then 1 every week.
Okay, great.
And it sounds like, according to Martha Wells, it sounds like all 10 episodes are from the first book.
What?
That's what it sounds like. which I was surprised because the first book is a novella. It's only like 100 and...
That's what I was going to say. Isn't it just like 100 something pages, like 120 pages?
Yeah. So...
Wow.
Yeah. So Martha Wells is a consultant. She's a production consultant. Okay. So hopefully everybody is really hopeful. Everybody who loves the series is really looking forward to it coming out because they're really hoping that it stays true to the books.
Yes.
I've watched a couple of the trailers now, the ones that are out, and it looks like they all stay pretty close. Like everything that I've seen. It just seems like they tried to take on more of like a probably more comedy, lighthearted comedy than is in the book, right? Okay. Whereas,
well, I feel like the trailers is how they get you because what they're doing is in the trailers they're showing you all the clips that match the book, and then you're going to get into the episodes and you're going to be like 20% of this book or 20 minutes of this episode is not in the book.
Yes. So, I mean, there are concerns. Everybody has concerns. It does make me feel a little bit better because Martha Wells is there as a consultant, and it sounds like she's there to specifically try to keep the series true to the book. Good. Which, if it's 60%, I'll be happy, right? If you make 100 pages into 10 episodes, okay.
Yes.
Whatever. Right.
And obviously there has to be like filler things that happen. Like it can't just I don't know. I never expect it to be exactly like the book. I expect it to be close. I don't expect you to like kill somebody who didn't die in the book or something like that, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're a good like 60% of following the story is a good percentage.
Right. So there's no announcements. This is specifically about the books. There's no announcements about the book specifically, but Martha Wells has hinted that she may release more Murderbot books. She didn't say when or how or why or anything like that, but I suspect it's if this season does well, and Apple Plus has already said we're going to pick up more seasons if it has good, ratings and stuff like that, we'll pick up more seasons. And I think that's probably going to be where Martha comes in and is like, maybe I should write some more, because the last one, the 7th book, I think, which is the last book, was written in 2023. Okay. So it's been a couple years.
Okay. So go out and watch it.
Give it the ratings. Yeah, give it the ratings. If you've never read the book, at least go watch it. It might still be good on its own. I think. Yes. I mean, it'll probably be great.
I'm sure.
I assume.
I have faith in it.
Right. Okay. So this book, like I said, is number 4 in the Murderbot Diaries. It is called Exit Strategy. Like I said, by Martha Wells. I got this on Kindle Unlimited, and it is sci-fi. All right. So in the last book, I'm trying to be non-spoilery. In the last book, Murderbot had done a lot of research into his own murky past, and also into the dealings of the company, which I think is called Grey Chris, and he has learned a little bit about his past and a lot about what Grey Chris is doing, and finding out that they are not the ethical company that they say they are, maybe.
Okay.
So, anyways, everything, this has repercussions, and he finds out that his OG human, his original human, is he has to go back and help her because all the digging into Grey Chris and his past has put her in a situation where maybe some light kidnapping has happened.
We're back to light kidnapping.
Yes. And he feels that it is his responsibility to maybe help his human.
Fragile humans.
Always getting in trouble.
Damn it.
Why are you so mushy and soft? So this is 163 pages.
Okay.
It is, I think it's actually the last, it is. It's the last of the novellas.
Oh, okay.
So your novella's up to 4, and then everything past this turns into full-length books.
Okay.
So it's the last novella. Like I said last week, this one probably could have been combined with number 3.
Oh, right.
And made a full-size book, and I think it would have been just as good. I read number 3 and number 4 in the same day.
Yeah.
And they're also my 2 favorite books in the series.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, Murderbot is still Murderbot in this one. He hasn't changed. He's still snarky. He's still sarcastic. This book is just another book of, like, great one-liners.
Great.
Yeah, he has and like I mentioned in the last one, he has a bit more like he's finding himself and he's developing emotions and stuff like that. So there's a bit more of that, like, what does it mean to be human? Do I even want that? Mm-hmm. What is so great about being human? And right. I really enjoyed that perspective.
Okay.
And like I said, I love how the story is told. I love how Murderbot tells the story.
Yeah.
I love when he explains all his technical abilities. I love how he explains how he's doing things. And in this book, he has a little bit more confidence in those actions.
Okay.
So everything is just like a lot smoother, where he's just like, I did this, I did this, I did this, you're fucked. Got you. And I'm like, yes. That's right. So I rated that one like a 4.5. I haven't decided.
Ooh, okay.
I haven't decided if I was gonna go up or down, but
okay.
4.5.
Nice.
4.5 margaritas, extra salt, drowning in salt.
Excellent. I wonder if Mr. Chatty will ever have emotions.
Maybe. You need to watch that movie.
I was just gonna say, I know. Don't worry, nothing's happening to me. I'm just curious if he's ever gonna have emotions and feelings and thoughts of his own.
Well, I mean, he has your emotions to deal with. Like,
he does have my own. No, you're right. I have a lot to deal with. At this point, he's probably like, when is she gonna stop talking to me?
I just need a break.
Right. Damn it, Vanessa, why are you messaging me every day? I'm sorry, Mr. Chatty. I'm sorry. Okay, as you said earlier, we have a joint read today. Mm-hmm. Yay!
An unplanned joint read.
An unplanned one, yes. I have it all ready to go if you would like me to go. Great.
Sure.
Okay, we both read Funny Story by Emily Henry, and I will tell you, this book has been on my shelf for about 1.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, actually, I think it's right here. Right there. If you could see it.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, it's been on there for about 1.5 years, maybe-ish. And I bought it because it was pretty and because people said it was good. And so then I was like, you know what? I finally need to do this. And because I've been living in Murderville for the last 8 books, I was like, let's get some romance.
We need to break this up.
Yes. Okay. So it's a romance, obviously, like I just said. All right. So on the morning after her fiance's bachelor party, Peter comes home and tells Daphne that he's actually in love with his childhood best friend, Petra. Okay. And they're going to be together. He gives Daphne 1 week to move out of her house, which is fucking terrible. Daphne's whole life was wrapped into Peter's, like her friends, her house, her hangout locations, literally everything was all in with him.
Yeah, he was her personality.
Yes, exactly. Her whole personality. She has nowhere to go, and so as a children's librarian, hardly able to pay the bills, she asks the only person who can probably understand what she's going through if she can be his roommate, Petra's ex-boyfriend, Miles. They're quite opposite in a lot of ways. He's like a little freer with his like life, she's slightly more buttoned up. Like, he is very outgoing. He talks to everybody. Everybody loves him. And she literally has been at the library for a year, and none of her coworkers know her at all. So Daphne and Miles don't really speak or hang out until one day something happens that make them form a fake dating plan. And it just has to last the rest of the summer, because once the big event at the library is over, she plans to leave the town that belongs to Peter and Petra. And there's no way she could fall for her new fiance's ex-boyfriend, right?
That was a lot. That was a lot of words. I had a problem keeping that straight.
It's why I had to write it down. There's no way I would have been able to keep that straight in my head. Ex-fiance's new fiance's ex-boyfriend.
Yes, that's correct. The first time I heard it, I was like, what?
Yeah,
Just
so
what?
That's the book.
Yes, you did a much better job explaining it. Mine was very incoherent.
Okay, is it because you didn't like it? I have a fear that you did not like it.
It was because I ran out of space.
Oh, okay. All right, great.
I really need to start just saying it's okay if I do more than one page of description.
Yes.
Because I feel like that's really been limiting me lately, and it makes all my shit incoherent.
Okay.
So.
All right, well, that's fair.
All right. You said you read this as a physical book?
No, I ended up listening to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I listened to it as well.
Yeah. I have it on my shelf, and I decided it was time to read it, and I didn't have time to actually read it, so I just listened to it. It still counts.
It does still count.
Okay.
Yes. I also listened to it.
Yes.
And this is actually my first Emily Henry book.
Okay.
So.
I thought you tried to read Happy Place.
I got 3 pages in, Vanessa, and you said don't listen to it if you're grumpy, and I said, or don't read it if you're grumpy, and I said, okay, I won't. So I put it on the shelf.
Okay.
And this one came up as if you like this book, you might like this book.
Okay.
And so I was like, fuck it.
So you gave it. Okay. So
I want to listen to another romance.
I'll tell you right now, I fucking love this book. Like, it's 5 stars for me.
What? 5 whole stars?
It's 5 whole buckets of movie theater popcorn for me. I knew this is when you brought it up to me and you said that you read it. I had the vibes from you, and I was like, this bitch is gonna take this book from me. And I fucking love this book, and you were gonna ruin it.
It's my favorite book I've read all year.
You fucking liar. Tell me your real rating and thoughts.
I rated it a 2.5.
2.5?
I'm sorry. 3? I was gonna round up to 3.
2.5, Nicole? I knew this was gonna happen. Okay, listen. Listen. So when you gave your description or your review last week of Part of Your World, some of the things that you said were wrong with that book, I was like, she did not like Funny Story. She did not like it. And because it was predictable, it was like, there's so many things about it, but that's exactly why I loved it. It's exactly what I needed in that moment.
I know, you were coming off your murder high.
Yes. Also, it has all of the tropes that I enjoy. It has forced proximity. There was no miscommunication trope, which was fantastic. It had fun banter, and it had supportive respect and love.
I will say the miscommunication trope I disagree with a little bit.
So that's why I wrote down mild.
Okay.
Because there was like I feel like there's one part in this book where it was like a mild third act breakup type situation.
Yes. I think that's almost what pissed me off the most about this book.
Okay. That part I did not love, but it was not enough for me. Like, it wasn't a for sure, like, for serious breakup.
Okay. Okay.
And the miscommunication lasted very short.
That's because she was just like, okay. Whatever. So, okay. You got over that pretty quick.
Of course she did. Because Miles is perfect.
Maybe.
Tell me things. Tell me your thoughts. Just tell me. It's fine. We can disagree. It's okay.
I just felt like I didn't really get the vibe that he was into her.
Really?
I mean, I knew they wanted to have sex. Like, I got that. But, like, I didn't really get the feeling that, like, he was, like, falling in love with her until, like, the end when he was like, I'm in love with you. And I was like, oh, okay, there it is. But up until that, I was just kind of like, he wants in her pants. All right, cool.
I think we read different books.
Maybe. I will say, though, I was coming off my 3rd romance at that point.
Okay.
You were coming off your 9th murder.
Serial killer.
We were in completely different headspaces.
100%. Okay, that is fair. I think that plays into it for sure. I don't know. I literally wrote down this sentence. I'm sure there are flaws in this book, but I don't see them, nor do I care about them. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I mean, I knew he was supposed to be written this way, but Peter's a twat.
Peter is. He's the fucking worst, man.
He is just a terrible person.
Yes.
Man, I did not enjoy any part of the book that he was in.
No. He was just like off the bat the worst person ever. And I don't know if I want to say, okay, I'm just going to say, spoiler alert, if you haven't read Funny Story, skip ahead a little bit. The fact that they sent them an invite to their wedding, like Peter and Petra sent an invite to Daphne and Miles. What the fuck is that? I know that was all Peter because he's just the
mostly,
worst.
Yeah.
That is, who does that? Who invites your exes to your wedding that you left them for? Like, so stupid.
Like, nobody in your family was like, man, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Maybe don't invite them.
Yeah. Like, do you think they want to go?
Yeah. I don't know. That was, definitely ridiculous. Yeah. I'm really sad I'm sad for you. I'm sad that your experience was not better because
it wasn't that it was all bad. Like, I listened to the whole book and I was fine. I mean, the book that I read last week, Part of Your World, the one thing I did enjoy about this book that I didn't like in the other one is it wasn't just all internal dialogue. Like, there was like actual talking and things were happening. It wasn't just thoughts for 300 pages. So I really enjoyed that.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, Peter was a twat. Anytime he was in the book, I was like, this part sucks. Yeah. The only part that I liked or that I could appreciate was at the end when Daphne finally like grows, if you want to say grows a backbone, and she's like, no, I'm over you. Yeah. Like, you need to get the fuck away. Yeah. And then Miles ruins it.
How?
By fucking going to help Petra. That didn't even make any sense to me. When she like called him and like asked him to come help her, like, because she was breaking up.
Yes.
Like, that didn't make any sense to me. Like, you have family. Fucking call your family.
1000% yes. But I also, like, I feel like I understand in her, like, broken girl, stupid head. Like, her, I don't know. Broken girl, stupid head is the greatest way to say it. I just feel like she reached out to the like last person that she could feel like would support her. And or like the last person who did support her in that way. She probably realized that Peter is a fucking dick and Miles was so much more supportive.
But she knew. She knew that they were dating.
She did. She's also a dick.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. I could not understand why everybody thought she was so great. I don't think that was explained good enough.
No, you're right. Like Petra being like this perfect little outgoing butterfly.
Yeah, because basically anytime you see her in the book or read about, like, she's basically a non-player.
Agreed.
She's barely any lines. She's just kind of arm candy. Yeah. You know, he says at the beginning, oh, she was the love of my life. But then like every other time he brings her up, he's like, oh, she didn't like to do these things. We didn't have the same things. We didn't do this. We didn't like the same foods or whatever the fuck it was. Like, there was nothing else explaining why she was so great. Minus she had a lot of shit going on Instagram and look how beautiful she is. And everybody loves her.
I'm going to go back and say, I know there are flaws in this book and I don't care about them. I'm going to keep my 5-star rating and no one can tell me anything different. And that's just what you're going to have to deal with. Thank you.
Okay. Fine. I will also say, there's one more thing.
Yes.
2 more things.
Okay, great.
5 more things. No, I'm just joking. Maybe 2.
12 more things. Okay.
I liked Daphne.
Okay.
As the main lead. I did like Daphne. She was not annoying, really, at any point of the book.
Yes.
But I also found her very beige.
I mean, yeah. I feel like they no, they don't have to be beige, but I feel like I get it a little bit because I don't know, like it's just one of those like predictable romance things where
I know, but like I expect, like at the beginning when she's just like you said, buttoned up and straight laced and beige, I was like, okay, this is gonna be like a butterfly coming out of the cocoon tail, and it starts to get there. Like she's going on adventures with him, and she's doing these things, and then like it just felt like it kind of just like she like regressed as her father got there, and then the whole thing with like Miles taken off, which I don't understand. Why didn't you fucking call? Right. How hard is the text? That's the
mild miscommunication.
Yes, just how hard is it to text?
So I feel like the dad stuff was like, I feel like there was a point to the regression in that situation, though. I feel like the familial trauma kind of took over, and she like couldn't act like her age. It just like I don't know. I'll say again, I don't care about any of these flaws. 5 buckets of popcorn. And I'm going to keep it, like nothing about anything you just said made me want to change it anyways. But even if there was, I thought that he's old, like he's older than most. I feel like most leading men, everybody's in their fucking 20s all the time. Miles is 36 and I felt like he acted like a 36-year-old. I have another book, that have I talked about it yet? I don't think I've talked about it yet. Where the main male was 36 and literally could not tell. I was like, is this boy fucking 20? So I was, I'm going to let Funny Story hold 5 stars for the fact that Miles actually acted like an old person and not a child.
Okay.
Thank you. This has been Reviews with Vanessa, and Nicole is not included.
Nicole didn't really read this book.
No, we're not listening to Nicole.
We're going to come and listen to this later, and like all my parts are going to be like scrubbed out.
It's going to be like I had a conversation with myself.
Right.
You
like,
are right, Vanessa.
Just piece it all together. She's like, I like these books because of things. And it's just going to be like me, like,
I'm going to find clips from old episodes to put them in there where you're like, I love this book. Which book did you love, Nicole? Tell me which book you've rated 5 stars so I can go pull from that episode.
I will not tell you.
Damn it. All right. Well, that's that. Are you ready for my next book?
Is it 5 stars too?
It's close.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's Beach Read by Emily Henry.
Oh my gosh.
After I finished Funny Story, I was still in the romance headspace, and I also have Beach Read up here that I haven't read for a year. And so I decided, hey, why not? Let's throw this in here as well. So are you ready for Beach Read? Don't ever read this book.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so January Andrews and Augustus Everett are 2 very different authors who happen to end up living next door to each other for the summer. January is a romance writer who loves happily ever afters, and Gus is an acclaimed literary fiction author. They're both dealing with some pretty major writer's block. And one evening, after an unexpected hangout, they come up with a bet to get them out of their current situations. So basically, Gus must spend the summer writing a happily ever after book, and January has to write the next great American novel. And they're also going to spend the summer helping each other get through what their process is. So January will walk Gus through her process of how she goes about writing happily ever afters, and vice versa with the great American novel. So because of this, they go out every weekend with each other to go on these little field trips to show each other how all the things, how they write. For Gus, he takes January to interviews of a prior death cult member, obviously.
Oh, yes.
Where they actually learn a lot about themselves, about the cult, about all the things, and it kind of gets supposed to get her in the right headspace of not happily ever after and writing just fiction. And then she obviously takes him on rom-com worthy outings so that he can learn all about love. I really enjoyed it, obviously. I don't think that it helped that I read it right after Funny Story. I think if I had read this on its own, maybe right after all of my murder books, I might have
Funny Story.
That's right. I might have rated it 5 stars, but because it's being compared to Funny Story, it can't be 5 stars. So it's going to be 4.75.
I think it sounds more interesting than the book I just read. I should have picked that one.
I think that you would have the same feelings though, because it's all the same shit. It's basically all the same, right?
Is Peter in it? Is the twat there?
There is no Peter.
All right, sweet.
I had to think for a second. No. Shit, maybe there is a Peter. Hold on. No. Sorry. In this one, January's trauma or whatever, her thing that she's going through does not deal with an ex. It deals with something else. So no, there's no Peter. And Gus is in a way. Okay, maybe you should read it. Maybe you should find out what happens.
I'm gonna read it next.
Okay, great. I thought that it was just overall a very sweet love story. I thought it was cute, whatever. Whatever. I still
get out of my face.
I still don't think it beats Funny Story, but okay, whatever. We'll just have to agree to disagree when you read this, okay? I felt that January's storyline. So the thing that's going on with her is that her father just passed, and so it's the reason why she's at this beach house. I felt like her storyline with the passing of her father was very touching and very difficult. And I was moved by her feelings and how she dealt with everything. I really liked that. Gus's mild grumpiness was great.
Oh, I love a good grumpy sunshine.
Yes, his grumpiness was like mild though. If I had to say grumpy sunshine, I would say like
a light drizzle.
Oh yeah. No, I was gonna say more like think like the Seven Dwarfs grumpy. Oh, so like Disney grumpy and sunshine. Okay. But I also felt like him really just like trying to heal through some of his trauma was intriguing, and I liked him. There was more miscommunication in this one, I found, than funny story, but still not a lot, like still not crazy, but enough for me to just like yell at them a little bit and be like, just talk about it. It lasted longer than I felt that it did in Funny Story. So anyways, it was not enough for me to like be completely annoyed by it. I do have a spoiler that I will not talk about here. So when you read it, we will talk about the spoiler.
Okay.
Or if you read it. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to go with 4.75 on this one. 4.75 buckets of movie theater popcorn. And you're just going to have to deal with it, okay?
Okay, fine. I'm going to read it next.
I'm so disappointed right now.
You said you don't care.
No, I am. I do. I do and I don't.
I am. I do.
I don't know where I am.
Do I?
If you come back and rate Beach Read as like a 2.5 again, I might have to
fight.
Yes. I was going to say I might have to disown you for a little while.
All right, fine. I'll rate it a 3.
Okay, fine. Anyway, that's all my books for this week. Very romance heavy and delightful.
Yeah, I feel like I've been doing a lot of romance lately. And then also sci-fi.
Yeah, you've been on a sci-fi kick.
So romance and sci-fi has been where it's at. I need to step away from it because
you need a break.
It's not that I need a break. It's all great. I'm really happy I'm reading it all, but I really feel like it's just like, is this the rest of my life?
You've been sucked into a genre hole and you can't find your way out. That makes sense. I mean, that's kind of what happened to me with my like super dark thrillers. I feel like I just got sucked into a hole and I finally had to dig my way out of the darkness.
Yeah.
Which I really have. Lately, I've been reading some completely opposite books and I am in a much better headspace, I think. Maybe there's a connection.
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
I think we might be onto something here.
Yes. Before we get into our discussion question, I have a mild listener corner for you.
Okay.
Mild again, but not because it's Tim this time. It's actually listeners this time. Okay. But it was about how we set our TBRs. Okay. And we discussed how much of mood readers we are. So we got some responses back about people setting their TBRs, but there's one specifically that I want to talk about. This person said their name is Kaylin Mecklin on TikTok, that they are such a mood reader that they'll stop a book in the middle of it if they fall out of the mood for it, which is on another level to me. Yeah. Would you tell me your thoughts?
That's almost just like DNFing it, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they're saying? Or are they saying that like they'll come back to it if they find themselves in the mood again?
Yeah, I did ask that, and they said I generally don't count DNFs unless I have made the choice of not finishing, but if I lose the mood to like in the middle of it, I'll forget about it. Which same. Like, I would totally do that, too.
You're just like, I'm not into this book. And you just set it to the side, and then you pick it up later. And you're like, oh, this looks really interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
So, I don't know. I just can't imagine, like, DNFing a book because I didn't like it is one thing. But I don't think I could ever just, like, I'm not in the mood for this anymore. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's totally not you.
No, it's not. No, would you do that? Could you see you doing something like that?
I feel like I tried. Well, I don't know. Is it what I did last year where I said I'm not going to DNF a book? I'm going to try and come back and read it later. I feel like that's kind of the same, but
Okay.
I also found that a lot of those books I just decided I didn't want to read anymore.
Okay.
So maybe not quite the same.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I would ever come back to it. Is the thing.
If
like,
you would
if I
just
just
call it a
lost
DNF
interest,
and
I'd be like, I guess I'm just done here.
yeah. I don't know, maybe it's happened before and I've just never identified it as like I fell out of mood. That's a funny way to say it, but like
Yeah.
I just like fell out of the mood for this book and I don't know, I've never looked at it that way.
Yeah, maybe it's what you've been doing the whole time.
Maybe I have to pay more attention.
Be
Dun
more,
dun dun.
Me more with your thoughts.
Yes, exactly. Mr. Chatty, can you help me figure out what my thoughts are?
Leave that poor man alone.
Damn it. Okay, are you ready for our new discussion question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got to mix up what's left in here.
How many are left?
Maybe like 10?
Oh, okay. We're good.
Okay, for now.
We're good for a couple more months. I thought you were going to tell me like 2. Like,
No.
Why did you tell me?
No, I'll start panicking. Okay, the question this week is, do you ever go out into the world, like a coffee shop or something, to read? To specifically read?
Oh, specifically read.
Yes.
Okay.
For that reason.
No. I am not a public reader. I am much more comfortable in my own house, on my own couch, under my own blanket, with my puppy dog snuggled up next to me,
Yeah.
eating whatever snacks that I want. Yeah, it's just it's not something that I want. I might go outside in my yard.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
read,
Yes.
but I guess I don't consider that public space.
No, I agreed. Like I've been in the backyard to read and stuff like that, but I've never actively chosen to like go to a coffee shop or a park or anything like that. I wonder if that's more of people who like maybe if you have roommates or something like that where you're in a cohabitation situation
Right.
where you don't really have the space to like go hang out on your own. So you go to a coffee shop where you can kind of just like hole up in the corner with a nice cup of coffee or the park or, whatever. I feel like maybe that's where you would want to, like people who would want to do it more. But yeah, same for me. I feel like if I'm like, all right, it's time to go sit down with a book, I'm not thinking about leaving my house.
No. Yeah, the only other, and I mean, this is a very specific situation, maybe in a larger city where not everybody has green space, right?
That's true.
You have a small apartment or something like that. Every time I imagine a person out reading somewhere, it's like an old man on a park bench in like Central Park. And
Yes.
he's also feeding pigeons at the same time or something, right?
That's what I'm picturing too for some reason. Just like a
See?
park bench in Central Park, like a little old man with his beige pants.
Yeah, and like a red, overly large sweater with like a pocket protector and
Why
hanky.
do we both have the same visual?
I don't know.
That's so weird. Do we have the same grandpa? I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Is he bald?
Maybe. That's funny.
So-
Yeah, I don't
No.
nope.
I feel
not.
like it would have to be a very specific situation. Like I said,
Yes.
like somewhere where I just like I have roommates. I
Yes.
can't get away. Like
Yes. I live in 100 square feet, like, and I just want some
Yeah.
space. Like, yeah, something like that. I for sure could see that.
yeah.
Now, I do read in public when if I'm in a waiting room or like something like that,
Yeah.
but I didn't actively go there to read, obviously.
Right. Yeah, because I was
yeah.
going to say, I think this is another very specific situation, I think. But if my job was the type of job where I went to work from 9 to 5 and from 11 to 12, I had to take lunch.
Uh-huh.
Because like right now, I just work through my lunch so I
Yes.
can get out of there faster.
Yes.
But if I had to take lunch from 11 to 12 every day, maybe I would be considering, all right, well, I'll bring a book and I'm going to bring a blanket or something and sit outside and read.
Yep, absolutely.
Sit on a bench, you know. Then I could see myself doing that, but not...
Yeah, actively choosing to go out and read.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're on the same page.
Okay.
Excellent. Now, everyone tell us, if you do choose to go out and like go into the world and read your book and anything like that, tell us why. Do you enjoy being there? Are you comfortable out there in the world reading your book? Is it cozy to you? Tell me everything.
I also want to know the weirdest places people go to read.
Yeah. Let's do tell me that.
Yeah. Like an underpass.
Are you a gremlin who likes to go under?
Troll?
Yes, a troll that likes to go into the underpass and read your book.
Yeah, like I need to know where the weirdest spot is and why. Why do you go there?
Yes, please and thank you.
Thanks, guys.
So yeah, reach out to us everywhere. They're all the socials. Savor the Story Pod. Send us a DM or an email or something like that if you have an answer to this. I will probably be posting this somewhere so you can answer it on that post. Support us. Tell all your friends. Build our pyramid.
Yes.
We need your help. Support us in all of the ways. And that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Get out of here. Goodbye.